So now we are live.
Yes, okay. Welcome to the first draw of prizes, or how we call it, a raffle, the first weekly raffle of the Checkmate coronavirus project. And we are here together with the best German women chess player of all times, as far as I know, Elisabeth Paehtz, and also with Piggy, who will help us. And he was actually traveling, as far as I know, from Berlin to Erfurt. And my name is Ilya Gorodetsky. I am a FIDE supervisor. That's my title. Yes. For the Checkmate coronavirus event. I'm very sorry about my bird, but okay, you are watching Elisabeth, so I think you should be just watch to the left side of your screen and you will be fine. And so I will explain what we are doing here. Actually, we are drawing today for more than 150 prizes, 151 actually. But of course, we won't ask Elisabeth to be here for the whole time. So we will draw for 11 major prizes. It will be 5 mini matches with the top grandmasters. We are not allowed to announce the names of these grandmasters yet. But believe me, they will be even stronger than Elisabeth. Let's put it that way.
I hope so.
Yeah, and also then we will draw for 6 packages to Moscow. Once again, the main prize of the whole project is 64 prepaid packages, and it includes also travel expenses. So yeah, we will draw for 5 mini matches with grandmasters, so we will know the names of the future grandmasters opponents, and then we will know the names of the lucky winners of our main prizes of the packages to Moscow Chess Olympiad, that hopefully will be held next August in Moscow. It should have been this August, but you know, there are 2 major tragedies: my birth, yeah, and the cancellation of most of the chess, and not only chess events. Well, of course, we will try to have a chess stream, so we will have some chess stuff also. And as far as I know, Elisabeth has her own plan. She has her own prize, actually, that we will be drawing for today. But also she has some chess puzzles and other chess content, unfortunately for me. So yeah, the floor is yours.
So yes, I put one position, which I'm currently working in different styles on my YouTube channel. Like I put puzzles or different kind of exercises. This one is about calculation, and I was wondering, since I gave you this task now, do you have an algorithm of calculation, or how do you calculate when you understand in the game it is time to actually do calculate?
Yeah, well, I need to say that, well, at least I used to be a decent chess player. My FIDE rating is 2,253, but unfortunately I was inactive for last, I think, 20 years. So, and actually the problem is that I was always pretty bad in calculating stuff. I was more of a technical player. But well, I was a Soviet chess player, so practically I learned from the great chess books of Soviet authors, of Russian authors. So I was trying to pick some candidate moves, and then I was trying to kind of to make a decision to choose one of them. Actually, like when we were preparing, I was kind of, I saw the decision. Yeah, I saw how this position this position is solved. But actually, I think I would have had a hard time doing it, even if of course, if I didn't know that there is some technical solution in this position, I would have no chance. But even knowing that, I think I would have hard time because, well, I won't give you any moves, but in general, yes, like answering your question, I think first of all, I would have tried to pick some moves, some possible moves. Of course, in this position, for example, the most logical moves are moving your rook from a8 because I'm a weak player. So when my rook is under attack, the first idea is to move away. Yeah, but obviously, like. I would have been looking for some tactical ideas because obviously black is attacking and try to mate white. But with the bishop on g2, I think I would have been quite disappointed already, and this disappointment actually is a big problem. I think it kind of. It doesn't help in, I will say, it doesn't help in finding good moves. But in this position, yes, I would have considered moving my rook away, let's say, I don't know, maybe to g8, because I want to create some maybe ideas on g file. Well, but obviously queen f7 is not very pleasant because my other rook will be hanging. But queen f7, rook f6, maybe it's not that, it's not the end of the world, I will say. Yeah, well, I know the solution, but I don't want to give it away, and I want to give a floor to you.
So, okay, how to find...
the right way to...
Yes. I mean, you explained it very well. To find the solution, unfortunately, and this is a bad news for maybe a lot of, let's say, hobby players or amateurs, is you have to, well, recognize patterns. Patterns means like some kind of pictures which are kind of typical tactical motives which could lead to mates. One pattern which professionals or FIDE masters or international masters recognize easily is this kind of pattern of the queen sacrifice connected to a check on h2, and then obviously the g file must be in the control of black to execute that pattern, which means already to me, just because I recognize this pattern, my candidate move number 1, or let's say my candidate move number 2, if I really understand I have to move the hanging rook on a8, would be then rook g6, because the trick is now, let's say if white does, for example, like just nothing, absolutely nothing, then there is this trick of the mate pattern, which I explained before with check, check, check on h2, king e1, and rook g1. I mean, the recognition of patterns is only then possible if you have seen these patterns before. Unless you haven't seen them before, it is much harder to recognize these patterns or to find these patterns, obviously. And in order, like, my kind of algorithm, or what I explain to like less strong players, is always, it's good to start with captures and check variations before you look for these kind of silent moves or these moves which cause a threat, just like the move rook g6. Which means, according to my algorithm of calculation, I would first begin with checks and captures. However, like queen takes g2, we can rule out on the spot. After king takes g2, there is nothing to continue with. The other checks here which are possible is queen h1 check immediately, or queen g1 check, queen g1 check, but we miss obviously the rook on g6. So queen g1 check leads to nothing, queen h1 check just doesn't work with a rook on g6. The knight can't give any checks, and that means already like I can rule out any checks and captures. So the next thing I have to look for are moves which cause a threat, and here we go already with rook g6. That move is causing us a threat, and the threat is basically the check on h1, knight h2 check, and mate on g1. But now of course we also have to calculate, because our rook on a8 is hanging with a check, which means we have to move the king. And here the question is, does white has any kind of normal way of defending the mating threat connected to queen h1 and knight h2? And the answer is actually no, because even if the king tries to move away, then we simply will mate the king on f2 square. So this is not working as well for white, which means white has to find some kind of checks in order not to lose on the spot. And the only two checks white has is a check on g8 and the check on h8, which means in our calculation we also have to obviously not only look for our own checks and captures, we should also look for the opponent's possibilities. And here the check on h8 doesn't make any sense, because the king will not move anywhere. But we see here another pattern which is related to the knight on e7 and the rook on g6, which means with the king on g8 we have the pattern of a knight fork. That gets us already to queen g8 check as one of the hottest candidate moves, because if we don't give a check we cannot defend the mate. Black has to take...
Actually, I will say, I wanted to mention that from my point of view, rook g6 is possible to find this move, but unfortunately I think that some of the players, let's say of my current level, which is I think like maybe 2100 level, I'm definitely not a player of 2250 level I used to be, because chess needs practice, and I'm only playing some blitz and bullet games. But actually, if I think I will be, kind of disappointed, because when I find this rook g8, then knight e7 and knight takes g6, people of my level, they kind of tend to be easily, I don't know, like disappointed, because after this these moves, I would have had a feeling that it just I don't have enough pieces, because bishop on g7 is not participating in the attack. Of course, I know that the queen and the knight work very good together. But still, I think I would have been disappointed, and I wouldn't be able to find the final blow of this excellent combination. Actually, I saw that it's from Artur Yusupov's game, one of the brilliant minds of chess, and he's actually, a competitor to both of us, because he used to be a Soviet or a Russian player, and now he's a German player and a great coach, and in general his bird is perfect. So I mean, I don't know him personally, but he looks like a very interesting person and fun to be around. Of course, you know him probably pretty well.
Yes, I have been training with him, and for me, he's one of the best trainers I had in my life, by far.
Yeah, I think when you are a player of my level, you are kind of dreaming of a chance to work with such. I was very lucky in my life that I worked for many years with Garry Kasparov, and they even analyzed some positions with him, and it was always an absolute absolute pleasure. And actually, some of the winners of Checkmate Coronavirus project will have the same chance, because obviously when they will be losing their mini matches to grandmasters, make no mistake, grandmasters will analyze with them, and those who will win packages to Moscow, they will be guests on Moscow Olympiad, and maybe even Elisabeth, after she wins her game on the first board for Team Germany, will show them her games. Actually, I just remembered we talked with FIDE General Director, Mr. Sutovsky, And I remember in 2005, I came as a guest, as our Olympiad guests will come. I came as a guest to one of the tournaments in Moscow. It was a huge open tournament, Aeroflot Open. And we were not like friends with Emil, we knew each other, and he was just, on fire because he just played an excellent game, and he kind of caught anyone who he was able to catch in the hall, because he wanted to show his game. He wanted to show that it was an excellent game, and I still remember it, and I even rewatched it a couple of days ago because it was a very nice, moment, and I think he enjoyed it.
Yes, he's a very, very strong tactician, actually. Super strong and dynamic play. I've seen a lot of games by Emil. Also, one loss, but this was not his fault. It was a home preparation of Sheparinov, also super sharp game in the Grünfeld defense. But there must have been some novelty involved, and it was clear that the novelty is analyzed.
This is one of the openings I never played in my life. Grünfeld defense is it's so complicated that I was always trying to get away from it with any color. I'm E4 player, so with white it was impossible for me to play Grünfeld defense, and with black I was just too frightened to do it. Okay, let's finish with this tactical, and we will go to some draw, because people are waiting for the lottery, I guess.
I quickly summarize it. So basically, after the check on g8, we lure the king to g8 in order to give a check on e7 and get the rook out of the game, because without the rook, black is not able to thread a mate. But here in the game, after knight takes g7, Yusupov found another pattern in order to thread a mating attack, and he didn't capture back with king takes g7. And to find this pattern is actually, even for strong players, not so easy. It would have taken a while, but he understood if he brings his knight to h3, he threads mate on g1, and the bishop cannot take on h3 because of mate on h1, which means he played knight f2, and he forces white to sacrifice the bishop, because if you don't distract the queen, the knight will get to h3, and then you cannot defend the mate to g1. You cannot capture the knight because of mate on h1. That happened in the games when...
I just want to mention that from my point of view, knight f2 is even more difficult to find than rook g6, and especially when you are watching on the position before playing rook g6. It's kind of, for weaker players of my level, or even like weaker, it's kind of difficult to believe that with only two pieces remaining, you still can create such an attack. And because white has all the pieces in the world, like 5 of them, like 2 rooks, 2 bishops, a knight, and we are down to just 2 pieces. Okay, 1 piece is a queen. I mean, it's not bad, but it's usually not enough.
But there is a kind of rule, especially when we speak about the endgames with queen and knight against queen and bishop. They always say that with queen and knight, there are a lot of mating ideas involved, which means that if you have an active queen and an active knight close to the king, even with just these 2 pieces, you can create a lot of trouble to the king. So this I always remember in an endgame, but here even it doesn't matter we are in an endgame or not. We have the queen and we have the knight very close to the king, and there's only 1 bishop defending, and by rule I know that the queen and the knight can be really, really annoying pieces when it gets to the mating attack. So in the game, actually now Ivanchuk sacrificed on f4, queen takes f4 happened. Now I have maybe some ideas like knight d1 check, because the king is in the opposition of the queen on f4. So a knight e6 was played, and now he just went back to h2 again with the same idea of knight h3. Here Ivanchuk played rook b1. He wants to give some checks, but he will only have the check on b7 because b8 is already controlled by the queen. So in the game, just knight h3 happened nonetheless. There was a check by Ivanchuk on b7. And after king h8, Ivanchuk actually resigned because he has no defense. He has to give another piece.
Actually, even small things. Chess is such a beautiful game, and we had. I can give you even an exact number how many games were played during this first week of Checkmate coronavirus. But a lot of games, but and so people are definitely enjoying the project and enjoying all this chess activity. It was 450,000 games played during this week. But obviously, I doubt that anyone was as beautiful as this game. But how even small things, subtleties, I will say, are really important in chess. Let's say in this position, b8 square is under control from the queen from h2, and that's really important. And actually, the fact that there is a c4 pawn, because otherwise white could have played, instead of rook b1, rook c1, and then rook c8 check. Maybe it won't be then. It will be not so easy for black. Probably they are winning anyway, because the king will run away. King h7, king j8, king f7. But it will be much more difficult. So these small things, they kind of add to the whole picture. But it's an excellent game, and actually I'm really happy that I kind of saw it, thanks to you, because I didn't remember this game actually.
Okay, I just thought I will bring you something which is a little bit more complicated, and I absolutely agree. To me, to find knight h3 is a lot harder than to find rook g6. That's a real difficulty, because that pattern of distracting the bishop in order to have also a mating idea on h1 is not that typical in comparison to the other pattern, which means to sacrifice the queen on h1 to have the square for the knight on h2. That pattern is much more common than the last one in this game between Ivanchuk and Yusupov.
Actually, Elisabeth, I have a question.
Yes.
I will have a bunch of questions later, but a question about this lesson. Okay, I got it that patterns are important, but how can you actually learn these patterns? Of course, we learned them, some of them, when we were kids. Yeah, but I have a lot of friends who are not kids anymore, but they want to improve in chess. What is the best actually way to do it when you are not a kid and when you cannot afford to spend hours, and when you are not, well, you may be enthusiastic about the game, but you just have other things to do. What is the best way to try to get better when you are kind of playing, but on let's say on a club level?
Okay, first of all, there are books about patterns. I mean, there are really books written which contain all kind of patterns, like the pattern of the suffocate mate, the pattern of the two bishop sacrifices on h2 and g2. I mean, the pattern on the weak crowned row and stuff like this. But I mean, I'm trying even to fix these kind of things all on my YouTube channel. I just started 3 months ago, and what I'm doing is I bring positions, calculation positions, showing patterns in order to really give people the opportunity to train these patterns and then to recognize these patterns, and next time they either meet it in an exercise or over the board. But the only chance to get better is obviously to get material to really train these patterns, and then also have a system of calculation. And this combined actually is helping a lot to get significantly better in calculation and in recognizing motifs all over the board.
Okay, let's do our first draw. I think we'll even draw for a couple of winners, because we are already 20 minutes deep in our stream, and I don't want to spend the whole night, the whole evening doing that. So if we can go, yeah. And okay, so first of all, we will be drawing for for those who will play mini matches against the grandmasters. We have a list of all the ticket owners, all the ticket winners, and we have 3,846 ticket winners. And so these are the lucky charms that Elisabeth is sending to you. She even used the quote from Hunger Games. Actually, Checkmate Coronavirus is much softer than Hunger Games. But okay, let's go. Let's generate the first winner of the mini match with the top grandmaster.
So I will press a button now, and the button now should run. And I got a number. Do you see the number on the screen, Ilya?
Yes, and it's 3,807. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to the list. I think that the cost of the feeder channel can post this link because it's open information. The list of all the participants. So 3,807.
I will go down for you.
Bottom.
It's a long way. Yes.
Yeah, and it's Simoon. It's Simoon, and he played a tournament on just recently. I mean, his tournament was over, I guess, just before our stream. So Simoon is our first winner. I will make a note that he is winning a mini match.
Yes, I just have to understand the scrolling of my mouse. Now my technical weaknesses are shown. Jesus.
Yeah, well, just Elisabeth will check that it's not my my nephew or some, because we want this project to be as transparent as possible because we really want to give people chances. Actually, I think, for me, for example, our minor prizes are even more valuable than major prize because major prize is trip to Moscow, and I'm in Moscow now, current time for a few months already. So, and some of the souvenirs we are awarding is actually really nice. Okay, Elisabeth, let's you are almost there. So
no, it's Simon. Yes, absolutely right.
Our first winner of the day, and actually the first winner of the whole Checkmate Coronavirus project. So congratulations to Simoon. Obviously, we will be checking with our partners from chess.com and from Lead Chess and from Chess24 and from FIDE Online Arena that there was no some foul play by our winners. But hopefully Simoon will be fine. And I just got a message from one of my colleagues that actually it was first Simoon's tournament because there are people who are playing a bunch of tournaments, who has a bunch of tickets. And Simoon is just such a lucky guy. First tournament he plays, he got into 5% of players, and then he immediately wins the prize thanks to lucky Elisabeth's hand and Piggy, I guess.
Yeah, Piggy.
Okay, let's immediately draw the second winner.
1 second, I will go back to the page. Where is it? Well, I'm on the wrong one. The random is here. So I will just click on generate again, right?
Yeah, just once again. Yes, absolutely.
2,151.
2,151.
Yes.
And let's go check. Who is it?
Yep. 1 second. I have too many windows open. 2,000. What was the number? My memory. It's on the screen.
It's some fan of mathematics because his nickname is Do the Math.
So it's 2,100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the math. Oh boy, this is actually my biggest weakness was always mathematics. It's not a good sign.
Yeah, actually, when I was preparing for our stream, I read your Wikipedia page, and it was written that you were doing very well in chess, and you were killing everyone, and you were. If people forget about it because it was some time ago, you were. You were World Youth Chess Champion, yeah. I guess it was in 2005.
That was the same year when I was finishing school, and I can tell you I was struggling to get my A levels because of mathematics.
Yeah, but actually, you know, there were a lot of great chess players who were struggling with mathematics. Yeah, and so Do the Math is our second winner. Okay, let's make a short pause with the awarding stuff, and you know, I mean, you probably will want to play some games, and I will try maybe to ask you questions about the current state of things and maybe about the games, because I used to be a commentator, so let's go back probably to.
So I will go now to the Checkmate Corona, and then I have to press join. I guess
we still have this random number generate on the
yes,
screen.
I will adjust it. Don't worry.
Get rid of it.
Yep. And the generator.
It's unfortunate that the pig will also go away, yes?
Yes, the pig will go away, the odds will go away, and voila. So, and now I will join the tournament, my first Checkmate tournament. So I guess after I join this tournament, I can also win a prize, right?
For sure, yeah.
So... Actually, some people in my chat complain I shouldn't make Piggy disappear in my screen. So, but now... Oh, I'm Paehtz already. Do you see that I'm moving? Probably you do it, right?
I was trying to watch it on the stream, but I will.
It will be delayed, yes,
yeah,
on the stream.
Yeah, and you are playing. Lucky guy from Russia. He is already kind of a winner in Checkmate Coronavirus because he's with rating 1,197. He is already playing a grandmaster.
Okay.
Thanks to Checkmate Coronavirus, you can do it.
Let's play a bit more exciting.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know the English word for it, but his I will say his attitude to pawn structure is a little bit non-standard. Let's put it like that.
Okay, my attitude to g5, g4 is also not non-standard, but I like to move these kind of hairy guys, actually.
Yeah, actually, as far as I know, it's now H pawns. You know, like assaults are very popular right now, and you are going for G pawn.
Yes, I mean, I learned a lot from Simon Williams to play always aggressive. It's not always going well, but sometimes it's just much more fun to play chess a little bit more relaxed and not
especially Elisabeth, if you are playing against 1,200 player.
Yeah, okay, this is maybe like, okay, I mean, I would probably, you see, the guy actually makes a counter attack on the other wing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But actually, okay, maybe he blundered that, okay, I don't know, but I mean, he shouldn't copy from me, I guess.
The problem is that knight on h4 is a typical Zigbert Taras knight. Yes, it's the kind of piece about which your great compatriot said that one piece in a bad position means the whole game is bad.
Yes, it's an excluded piece actually. There are some nice topics like positional topics which are called the excluded piece, and it's about actually just these kind of knights on the rim or other pieces. So Yes, he's not playing according to positional rules, let's put it this way. But also I abused these kind of rules by pushing g5. But let's change the queens. I think he will be happy.
Yeah, because for players of this level, it's actually very important to not know, the result is kind of prearranged. It's clear enough that you will crush him, but by exchanging the queens, he will give himself a chance to play a long game.
Yes.
And to play a long game against a grandmaster. I think it's already like a big thing. Okay, he's a typical Russian player. He's not going for any exchanges. Yeah.
Yes, he has. I mean, like we would say, like he has. Well, I can't say the word on the stream, but he really has. Let's say, he's brave. We would say it differently in German, but I will not say it even in English on the stream. But I love attitude.
I used to be a poker commentator for a long time, and people are always asking, are there any peculiarities in some nations, And I never faced such a question about chess, but maybe you have something to say about it. Do you feel like there are some, like different, for example, I don't know, from maybe the players from Latin America are more aggressive, or in poker, actually, the players from Scandinavia are usually known to be the most aggressive. Swedish players, Norwegian players. Is it the same in chess, or you cannot say so?
Well, in chess, actually, like I wouldn't put it into categories like aggressive or not aggressive. This is probably more related to the individual character. But I can tell you, like, I play differently against Germans with 2100 over Russians or former Soviet Union players. I mean, from the former Soviet Union countries. Because, for example, like when you play against a German, which sounds now funny because, okay, it's my country, but I always avoid theory because Germans by mentality are very hard workers, which means they're absolutely well prepared, even if they're not that strong in the theoretical point of view. So, I mean, like, if you like really dare to play some kind of mainline, you have to expect that someone with 2000 or 2100 will come up with the first 25 moves. This is very typical for the Germans because our mentality works like this, that we are actually really disciplined and hard workers. That's why when I play, for example, against especially people from my country, I never go for main lines. I go for kind of sidelines in order not to face like a 25 games of theory. Which actually, when I played in Italy, it was never the case. I think the Italians, they were much more natural in their approach when it comes to theoretical point of view, but therefore they would play a little bit more dynamic. I mean, these kind of differences, I believe, could be related to the mentality of a country. But for example, I also believe that like players from former Soviet Union are stronger in understanding than the Western countries when they have equal ratings. I mean, I prefer to play against a 2100 from West Europe over a 2100 from China, for example.
Actually, it's interesting that with Chinese players, actually, even like the strong grandmasters, sometimes in the opening they're choosing some variations, some lines that I will say any player from Russia above 2000 will never opt for, will never choose. Do you have such a feeling? Because it kind of, well, it looks like they are already like computer players and they are not thinking about some, like basic theory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I said, like this is my experience with these different countries. For example, like I'm very upset if I play against a young guy from India with 2100 because I know that his objective rating is 24 plus. Same for Chinese, same for young Russian kids. I mean, because the problem is also like when you are in West Europe, you have much more chances to play tournaments than if you are in China or India. So these guys actually don't play so much tournaments, so their rating is usually much lower than their actual strengths. This I actually have seen in Dubai tournament when there were like some 1900, 2000, 2100 players who actually play objectively just like 2-3, 2-4 plus. And just to answer the question to the chat about Italians, what I mean is like the Germans, they're really kind of academics and they want to learn like everything precisely. I believe Italians would spend much more time in terms of hard working in middle game, end game strategy, but not necessarily when it comes to the opening. That makes one of the main differences. They work in different ways. And Germans...
Actually, I was hoping that you will join a blitz tournament, but actually you joined a rapid tournament, so we won't be able to play. We will be able to play probably only one to games on the stream. But this one, we know about patterns now, and the pattern is that the king on e1 is doomed. Here, there is no chance he will. This guy will escape. I mean. And it's not because Max Dykhov is playing against a grandmaster, even against the club player. This king is just too weak.
This king is really
there is no
weak.
chance.
I know. Okay, I have like probably like millions of ways here to execute the game, but I should prove the statement that queen and knight are very strong pieces against the king. I'll just try to prove it now because I will just give my 2 rooks against the queen to prove that the queen and the knight will still like make it really tough for black. But he didn't want it actually, which I believe he had to, but maybe he's right. Oh, I have to calculate now, which I don't want.
I think he is not right. Yeah, I mean there are a lot of ways of.
Yeah, okay, but it's clear that he doesn't want to change the queens at all for whatever reasons, which is very funny in a way. But objectively, he's playing much stronger than 1200. He's playing much more stronger.
I mean, that's
absolutely.
This is actually a good example, a good proof of what you were talking about. Because even on this level, when you are playing like some random games online, this guy, he's actually he didn't know anything in the opening, and he was playing pretty awful with this e3 g3.
Look, now I will show you some pattern just for you. I'm not sure this is working, but
I think
I hope it will work. Not too okay. It's at least I don't lose material or something. But it's just funny to have this pattern. Okay, no, but now I have a lot of moves actually after king e2. I can take on g1, but no, I think I will just exchange material and go for the end game.
When I was advertising he just resigned. He didn't notice that he could take a rook because there is no point of resigning here. But
it's a bit early, but okay, I'm like I will be 2 pawns up on a rook ending.
But the 1200 player doesn't resign if he sees that he can take a rook on d1, he won't resign. But okay. It's good for us because we can make another draw before you start next game.
Yes, so I will not push the next game bottom.
Yeah, not yet. Let's choose two winners more.
Yes, I will go on the generator and I will press the bottom, and we have 1239.
We didn't see it. Can you put it on?
I think it should be now on OBS. 1239. Yes.
Yeah, it's just a little bit
delayed. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
In the list?
Yes.
The list. I always have to find the list. 1239.
Okay, and I don't know why I was already contacted that I was talking about the first winner as about a man, and quite possible it was a woman. I have no idea, but I don't know why. But I think that Elisabeth SP, who was playing on chess.com on May 20 in one of the tournaments. I think it's a girl. I don't know why, but
Isabella.
she's not Isabella. Isabella will be too easy. It's like Ilhabella.
But it's an A at the end.
It's A at the end, and then some SP.
But it is which country?
It's not clear. We will figure it out later.
Okay.
Okay. So Ilhabella SP is our third winner, winning a mini match against a grandmaster. So yeah, and let's choose one more person.
Do I have to show it on my list? This was 1239, or shall I not show it on my list that we have the right name?
It's up to you. We can check them all. We can check them all from. Okay, one of my colleagues, an unstoppable guy. He already found out that this Ilhabella SP is from Brazil.
Okay.
So practically it's a little bit, you know, like Elisabeth is from a country who humiliated Brazil by winning 7-1 in the semi-finals of World Cup. At least something back. Okay, you checked Ilhabella, and let's choose another winner.
Okay, I will go back to the random category. I just have to do it 1 second. It's not so easy sometimes with all the windows. So now let me just have, yes, a generator there, but something else is open. I think this one, and here we go. So now I will press another time the generator, and we will have 560.
Okay, so we're going down, kind of. We are going to the beginning of our. Just I will see this number on my screen. 506.
So I will check it
all the way up.
560.
It's Astrapi. Also the winner of the mini match against the grandmaster, Astrapi. He played on the second day. We started on May 18. Actually, we are done with the first week. And once again, for our viewers, some of them will probably watch this stream after we are done. We will have these raffles, these weekly draws every week, but we were going to have it yesterday on Sunday, but unfortunately, it was myself in the driving seat and it didn't work for us. But today, Elisabeth was in the driving seat, and with her German meticulousness. I didn't manage to pronounce this word. Okay, but she was well prepared, and now we are on air, thankfully. Okay. Let's finish with all the mini match winners. Let's draw for the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then probably play one more game, and then we will go for the main prizes for the Olympiad packages.
Okay, 1 second. I think now, just to see that I'm right. Okay, now I will press the generating button. And we have again a really high number. I think we had some similar number like this. It's 3,517.
So it's just recent, you know. He just played a tournament like half an hour ago, and he is already a major winner. So actually, it's interesting that we mentioned on our social media. You can join our groups on Facebook and on Instagram, and follow us on Twitter. Actually, we mentioned that it's a good thing for those who continue to play, because if they play events, let's say today, they will have a chance in a draw. And this was true, because already 2 winners of mini matches were those who were playing events today. So 3,517.
I will check the winner 1 second, and I have to scroll again.
It's Big Young Heimeyer. Big Young Heimeyer.
Big Young Heimeyer.
Yeah, very difficult nickname. Yeah, I'm used to difficult nicknames as I was a poker commentator. But anyway, big young Heimeyer is quite difficult. Actually, our previous guy, Astrapi, he already played around 90 tournaments in Checkmate Coronavirus.
So he must be a really free guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so he was going for it in a real way. I don't know how many tickets did he win, but he got lucky and he will play a mini match against the Grandmaster. And actually, Astrapi in Greek means bolt, lightning bolt. So probably he was playing bullet tournaments, I guess, because if he played 90 rapid tournaments, he would have been dead already, I guess.
Mm.
Okay, what about one more chess game, and then we will go for the package winners, I guess.
Yes, I will just close. I will leave my picky, and I will leave the good luck stuff. Anyway, I need also some luck in my games.
Well, may the odds be in your favor.
Yes, sometimes there should be. I will just check if.
Yeah, actually, you need to play only 3 games in rapid tournament to be qualified for a draw.
Oh.
So you need to play 3 games for sure, because I want to send you. I want you to win a prize, and okay, not a big prize because you don't need it. You will come to Moscow anyway, but it will be nice to send you a cap or something like that.
Maybe FIDE should consider just to make some kind of 1-year Russian invitations, because my Russian visa will run out this year because of Corona. So that could be like something additional, like, just send this kind of prizes for the 1-year visa invitations, and we can see Moscow all the time.
Don't even mention visa stuff, Elisabeth, because you need visas. You need visas only to Russia, and we people from Russia, we need visas everywhere.
Not true.
All my visas expired during this coronavirus, so I cannot go to Europe. I cannot go to the States. I cannot go anywhere. Well, obviously, it's not allowed at the moment, but...
Okay, first of all, for the America, for the US, I also had to apply for the visa because I was in Tehran, and since you have a stamp from Iran, you need to apply for a visa. And this is not easy even for the Germans. One of my colleagues from another Schengen country was refused the American visa, just to underline that. And
yeah, yeah, I see.
And for example, like Russians don't need visa to one of my favorite countries, which is Azerbaijan. But we Germans, we have to apply for this kind of visa. So, I mean, there are also like some pluses and minuses involved in the whole visa situation. But I agree, of course, we have Schengen, and you don't have Schengen problems, and we have the UK, which you have to apply for.
Actually, it's a funny feature on chess.com where you are playing. I'm observing your game, and actually it's written that guess the moves of the players by making a move on the board. Try to become the top guesser. Actually, I have a question. Do you think that looking for watching the grandmasters of online games and trying to guess their moves, does it make any sense from the, let's say, from the learning standpoint? What do you think?
Well, maybe not in the opening, unless you really know like what. I mean, for example, let's imagine like black is Ivanchuk, or no, let's imagine black is Maxim Vachier-Lagrave. Then I bet you can guess the first 20 moves in the knight of anyway, because you know that all his games are knight of defense. That's why I believe if you know already the repertoire of that particular grandmaster, then probably it makes more sense to guess the moves once the opening is over, because chess-wise you will learn much more. Unless you want to check out how good is your theory, then it's very good to guess on Maxim Vachier-Lagrave's moves, because this guy, when it comes to Najdorf or to Grünfeld, you can be sure that the first 25 moves he didn't have to prepare, he just knows them by heart. So it depends from what you want to improve.
Yeah, and he makes my heart warm when somebody plays e4 against him, because Najdorf variation is by far my favorite variation in chess in general. I was always playing it with black, and even won some nice games, which are good memories for anyone who was playing chess like semi-professionally and then kind of quit. So when I see how Ashela Graf is playing with black, just like before Boris Gelfand was playing with black, and Neidorf played a lot of like very, very nice games. Well, unfortunately, Neidorf is not that popular now as it was like, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years ago, but
no,
still,
but
you know.
It became popular again thanks to Maxime, and also thanks a bit to Nepo, but mainly like Maxime. I mean, he used to play the Neidorf regularly on high level, and also Nepomniachtchi, he's playing the Neidorf not regularly, he's changing also sometimes, bringing up the French.
French now. Well, hopefully, I will ask Jan maybe to also to participate in one of the streams for Checkmate Coronavirus, because we know each other for a long time, and we even once went to a soccer match together in London, and we made a nice choice because we were choosing between two matches. And both matches were heavy favorite against the outsider. And we chose the match where the score was 5-0. And in the other match, it was only 1-0. So it was quite a dull match. But the one we visited was really nice. And actually, I have a very funny information from my colleagues who are helping us a lot. Actually, the last winner of the mini match is from Nepal, which is really nice because we really want people from all over the world to enjoy chess and to take part in the Checkmate Coronavirus. And actually, a lot of national federations joined the project. I won't name them all because I don't want to offend some federation by forgetting. But from all over the world, from Latin America, we have Colombia and Uruguay and Venezuela joined the project. We have Qatar. We have a lot of European chess federations joining, and actually the federation which will host the most number of tournaments in the Checkmate Coronavirus project. You will never guess, Elisabeth, what federation is going to host 30 tournaments for Checkmate Coronavirus.
Greece?
No, South Africa.
Oh well, okay, it was close.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost the same. They are neighbors, you know.
I was just like 2 months ago before Corona. I mean, I was lucky to escape, even though you don't need to escape from Cape Town. But I was lucky enough to get to Cape Town before the coronavirus was basically bringing all the countries into a lockdown. So yes.
Actually, this we are talking about a lot of stuff. But actually, I was planning to ask you about how your quarantine life has treated you, and how did you spend this probably 2 months? Yeah, that in Germany you were not kind of but you were allowed to go out. Yeah, it was not like in some countries. Wow.
Ooh.
It was going pretty smooth, and now suddenly just the quid is gone. Yeah, it's like yes, yeah. It's actually my 80-year-old father. He usually plays on chess.com. It's like his favorite leisure activity, I will say. And sometimes he is describing his games to me, and he says like, "Yes, I was doing fine. But then suddenly I didn't notice that my queen was hanging and it was all over." So practically the same happened to our poor guy from India who is playing against Elisabeth in this game. So hopefully he will, he resigns, and that will allow you not only to have another draw, but actually you will have a chance to play a third game and be qualified for a ticket. But not now. Let's go to the generator.
1 second. I will just adjust the. Yes, I'm back on track. Actually, like, you know, what I believe about this new life in the lockdown without tournaments, it's also interesting in some aspects that people now, especially chess players who had been playing all their lives chess tournaments, they have now time to discover other things. And actually I was quite surprised when one of my colleagues, Nana Tsagnitsa, she told me like she's baking Georgian rolls now. Then Anna Mutsishuk, she is drawing a lot of pictures. So they understand, or like not they understand, but they have suddenly this time to follow their hobbies, and they really much enjoy it. So it's not such a bad side effect to have suddenly time to discover or to explore yourself on other hobbies, actually.
Okay, we have very quietly, we have our first big winner, the guy who just won fully prepaid travel to Moscow for 6 nights next year in August for Moscow Chess Olympiad. The number is 2,375. This guy was playing on chess.com. Actually, I think it was a nightly tournament, but I'm not sure because with all these time zones, so I'm not sure about what time zone was this tournament getting. The nickname is Opro de Hedres. I will guess he's Spanish.
1 second. I mean, like I'm just with the scrolling is suddenly like I understand my technical limits. So it was. I mean, I'm trusting your statements because I need so much time and scrolling. I mean, numbers are related to mathematics, and as you know, this was not my cup of tea, so it takes some time. It's 2,375. Again, I made some mistake. Jesus. Yeah, I believe this is right. 2,000. I'm close now.
We don't see your version of list.
It's Oprovdex Hedres. Yeah, you are right. This could be Spanish, but this could also be South American.
Yeah, it's not Spanish. I made a mistake. Brazil again. Brazil.
Yes.
So
the Latins, the lucky Latins.
Yeah, the lucky country of Brazil. But the problem is that hopefully FIDE will not go bankrupt because, I mean, tickets from Brazil to Russia are pretty expensive. But, you know, a word is a word, you know. But maybe we will be lucky to have a winner from, I don't know, like from some Russian city like Tula. And we will just, it will be just a train ticket for him.
I mean, just Ilya, imagine we have some winner from Australia, then we will talk. I mean, Brazil is not that bad. You can still get it like by distance a little bit worse. So next drawing or?
Yeah, let's make another drawing attempt. Let's go to the.
I already pushed the generating button and the number.
I don't see it on the screen.
Yes, you will see it now.
Okay, yeah.
And it's 3,464.
Okay, so those who are playing today were really lucky guys. They if we had a draw yesterday, they won't even have a chance, and they had a chance now, and they are winning. Okay, so, 3, 4, 64.
Yeah, I'm trying to be quick. 3, 4. Yeah, I'm close. It is Judita.
Judita, yeah.
Judita.
So probably he's a big fan of the new series Mandalorian. Have you seen it?
No.
You are not a Star Wars fan?
I just know use the dark side of the Force. That's the only phrase I know from Star Wars.
Yeah, we are definitely not on the dark side. Okay, so the main chief, the key guy who is fighting for the good is Yoda. And probably this guy who just won a package to Moscow is like it's his kind of son, I will say, Yodita. Okay, hopefully we will get information
on his original country.
Okay, I was sad just from now that this guy, we will check it of course, but I'm not sure. But it's I got the news that this guy is the former president of Bolivian Chess Federation, a FIDE master.
Wow.
Well, we will check it of course, but it's funny that and it's anyway, it's very nice that people from all over the world are winning great prizes. We already had a winner from Nepal. Now we had somebody from Bolivia. So yeah, okay. So we are almost. We have only 4 more winners to draw for, and probably let's play one more game, and then we will come back to a draw.
Yes,
I still hope you to play against at least 2,000 players for the game to be interesting from the commenting standpoint.
I will try. Maybe the odds are in my favor. Who knows? It's now searching to find a match. So, I got a Javier, but 1235. Sorry.
1200. Wow.
I was trying hard.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you are playing. These people are definitely enjoying. When next time they will play a Grandmaster will be not very soon. I will tell you that.
This can be. This could be.
You didn't play any big events except for Steinitz Memorial, yes, during the current time.
No, actually, I'm happy in a way that I don't have to play chess currently because I'm streaming. I'm doing my YouTube channel. I'm doing some other stuff in Berlin, so I have a lot of things to do. And for me, it's actually quite interesting to have this kind of longer break of chess because I suddenly realized there are so many things I wanted to do in my life, like some singing technique I wanted to improve. I wanted to enter the chess boxing club. I mean, I had a lot of things on my to-do list, and now I have time to do these kind of things. So I don't mind actually to have this break.
What is your prediction? Actually, will everything be when will everything be back to normal? And if everything is back to normal, because there are people who believes that actually we will have much more online tournaments now. They are supporting the idea of having live tournaments semi-online, like for example you will be still in Berlin or even in Erfurt, but to play a tournament you will come to some club.
Yeah. But I mean, first of all, I have a very close friend. I don't believe, the media is what I listen to on TV, but my very close friend, he's a virologist. And currently his department makes researches on medications and also on vaccinations regarding the coronavirus. And he was also a very strong chess player at some point. He just quit chess for his job. And he said that there is hardly a chance to have any international event this year because it's impossible to bring all the countries on a same or safe level. So he said that all these kind of tournaments now written in the FIDE calendar, November, December, European, and all these bigger international events, he has serious doubts because he as a virologist says that we will get the virus in waves. Which means when the temperature in the northern hemisphere is getting colder again, it's likely that we will face another wave as we had this kind of huge waves in March and April. Even so, right now it's a little bit less, at least in Western, but I think in Russia now you have a lot of cases, so you can already see that all the countries are on different levels. And I think that I will not play any international event, but I'm sure I will play probably some event in Germany. This I can imagine, but for European Women or European Men's Championship, I have serious doubts that we will have any event like this, unfortunately. But for the candidates, I'm sure that the candidates is possible to play because it's a low number of people. So some tournaments for sure, yes. But European or World Championships, this rapid and blitz stuff, this is too big. I mean, I don't believe it because you don't want to have a tournament when some countries are not allowed to travel or they have to be in 2 weeks quarantine then. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to imagine. So his predictions were not very positive, actually.
Yeah, well, you in Germany you have Bundesliga in football already running. Yeah,
without spectators, which is already like super weird.
Yeah, well, still there are a lot of goals. I mean,
there are hopes. Of course, we all hope that this is not going to happen. But I mean, okay, I trust his words as a virologist. I mean, he's a specialist in his field, and he believes, at least he can't say this for sure, that international events, like big ones, like European Championships, I mean, Grand Prix or the candidates, this is much more likely than to have a European event with 200 or like 100 countries and 200 people taking part. This I also don't believe, because the risk that someone there is getting an infection, I mean, like one infected person and you have to stop the tournament with 200 participants, not easy, I think, but okay, let's hope this is not true. But okay.
Okay, this is the closest game you had from this three.
No, well, not the closest game. I mean, like positionally speaking, he didn't play it that precisely, let's say. But I mean, like,
of course, absolutely, yeah.
But let's say I also didn't play it like in the most spectacular way. I could have played it a little bit more aggressive, but somehow, like, since I'm talking to you, I think maybe it's better not to over push too much and then to blunder some pieces. But yeah.
Actually, do you like simuls? Do you like to play against a lot of like weaker opponents? Does it or it's kind of, you know?
I mean, I never gave an online simul. I gave a lot of simuls like in my childhood and even now. I mean, like in average, I had always like 3-4 simuls a year. And I like it because first of all, like the atmosphere is very nice. Second of all, you feel that the opponents are really happy to play you. So it's already an honor like to get this kind of impression of this atmosphere. And then, of course, they're also very happy when you analyze the games or tell them about your opinion, your mistakes, and so on. So, I mean, the dynamic of a simultan is really nice. In online events, you will not have this kind of dynamic because, okay, it's online. That's a pity about the whole thing. So I think simultans should be in live somehow. It gives the players who can play against someone a much better feeling or a much better atmosphere than to play online events as simultans. But okay, that's my personal exception. On the other hand, playing simultans online, you don't have to move, you don't have to travel, so this is not so bad.
Actually, when he played D5, what you were playing, if he plays like, I don't know, maybe F6 or H6?
You mean like to F6 or H6? I mean, like I wanted to take on D6 and then get 2 pieces. And I mean, I get 1 pawn. I don't know. No, I think I wanted to take, maybe I wanted to take on F7, have fun. I don't know. I didn't care. Is it amazing?
He found the way. All your opponents, they are starting kind of distant, and then they kind of they are trying to find a way to finish the game, because I think they feel like they are like an addition, that the main course is the draw, so they don't want to spoil the main draw with their play, because this guy, he was doing fine, and then just in 2 moves he was mated.
Yeah. So
what can we do? Yeah. Okay, let's go pick 2 more winners, I guess.
1 second, I'm just changing the layout and going back to the winners, but I have to go on the random stuff and close this and go to my generator. And I will now click on the generator and I will give you again 3,528 again, okay, from yesterday.
these guys who are playing today, they were unbelievably lucky. Okay, so they are. But the important thing is, okay, let's check who it is. It's from chess.com, House Ramda.
House Ramda. Okay, let me just check as well. Anyway, I think I'm already close with the number, so I don't have to make. It was 3,528. 1 second.
Yes, he played a Elite Chess Bullet tournament yesterday, and as he and actually I will tell, because he's in the very bottom of the list of the players from this tournament. So he's supporting the idea that results do not matter in Checkmate Coronavirus. He probably finished in one of the last places, but he still won not only his ticket, but also a package to go to Moscow. And one more question for you, Elisabeth. Can you guess his bullet rating? I was just told.
Oh boy. I mean, it can be any number. I mean, probably it's not 3,528, right?
Yeah, it's 937. So it's less than 1,000. So the guy is definitely not the guy or a girl. Okay, you cannot say now. Okay, so he or she. I cannot feel very uncomfortable saying it. Yeah.
Yes, I think actually Ramda could be Indian origin. I mean, it could. I mean, like Ramda or like Ramesh, these kind of names, I would put by intuition into the Indian, or I mean, into Asia at least. But maybe I'm wrong.
I think I was told he is from Canada, but actually there are a lot of people of Indian origin.
Yeah.
Some of the best poker players from Canada actually. Originally from India. So this Chaos Ramda, his 937 rating didn't stop him from winning the package. So we have only 2 more packages to draw for, and let's make another draw.
Yep, 1 second. I'll just get the generator back into the screen, and I will press the generator. And we have
finally I have a chance to read the chat, the YouTube chat, and we have a unique guest today, because usually the YouTube chat is very harsh, is very cruel, and today we can read the most beautiful woman in chess right here, and the best accent too.
Accent. So, my German accent rocks. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, your German accent definitely rocks. Okay, 1904.
Yes, we will check.
Let's go to the list.
So 1 second. Winners 1904. Ah, okay. I have to get the 1904.
Okay, here it is.
Just have patience with me.
Again, just on Dizzy Gum.
1904.
And finally we have the rising chess nation of the world, India. Finally, a guy from India won. We were kind of expecting a lot of winners from this country, because they play a lot of online games. But I guess it's probably the first Indian winner, and his blitz rating is even smaller than the previous one. He is 748. Honestly, I didn't even know that such ratings exist, you know?
Yeah, but actually the idea of the whole Checkmate program was not only like to bring everybody to chess, to bring especially those to chess who probably even haven't played chess beforehand in their lives. I've heard from so many people actually that they started to play chess because suddenly like the offers on YouTube, on Twitch, on like Fides part from Chess24, from all these platforms, suddenly the offers are so huge that a lot of people actually suddenly get into the game, and probably that's why we have these kind of low rating numbers in the tournaments. But this just means that the whole project or the whole ideas of bringing chess into social media, into public, works perfectly. And this is also based actually on Corona in a way. So I mean, we get so much attention now in the world because of Corona, not only, but because chess is booming actually in social media and everywhere. So it's
I think,
quite good step.
We are enjoying a peak of popularity of our game, and hopefully it will continue, and hopefully all chess institutions, of course, FIDE, and also like all the major platforms will kind of build on it, and will continue growing after we are done with the pandemic, I guess.
Yeah. So, what is the plan? Another drawing?
Yes, I think. No, let's play one more game. Hopefully, you will get someone a little bit stronger, and then we will finish with 2 more packages and a special prize. Actually,
Yes, I will also give away one special prize, but I will speak about it later. Let's see if the chessboard... no, the chessboard is not yet back. I'll see. Now it should be back, yes. And I'm still waiting to be paired. Oh, I get slightly stronger.
Yeah.
So now basically in the next drawings, I will be in the list. And what happens if I win a prize to Moscow?
You will have to give it away. Because you are coming anyway.
But I can give it to, I mean, like hypothetically speaking, we can, I mean, just imagine someone wins a prize who anyway goes with the national team to Moscow. We can give it to Wayne.
Well, I mean, honestly, Elisabeth, we will figure it out because the chances for that are so small.
No, I understand, but I mean, like that people actually who don't want to take the prize, it's just interesting for everybody because some of them just maybe are not free to travel to Russia.
Yeah, well, actually, by the rules, the main prize, this travel package for Moscow, is non-transferable. Because obviously we don't want people to, you know, to sell it or to kind of, you know, to do something with it. But I think that if for example, the biggest issue is if let's say 10-year-old kid
wins the prize,
will win the package. Or of course, I mean, we will try our best and we will make it possible for him to travel with somebody from his family because I mean. Otherwise, it won't be. Actually, we were when we were thinking about the whole price structure and price system. You know, we decided to go with the full packages exactly because we knew that there will be some winners from different parts of the world, and they will definitely they will not enjoy the prize that much if it won't be with the full package and with the tickets, so that's why we made this decision.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah, actually, I was wrongfully saying that we have only one package to draw for today, but it was a mistake. Actually, we have 6 packages on the line today. Actually, kind of people who were playing. From the very beginning, from the first day, they have a better chance because those who will join, we will be, of course, very glad for them. But of course, they already missed today drawing of prizes for today. But, they will definitely participate next time. Hopefully, they will be strong enough to beat Elisabeth and her piggy.
No, nobody's beating Elisabeth and Piggy. That's impossible.
Yeah, obviously in chess it's just impossible. But when it's all about you know like luck, it can be done.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to ask you the most stupid question of all times.
Oh, I'm looking forward.
What is your? I mean, you was probably asked this question in all the interviews you gave. What was your best game?
Oh boy, my best game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mean my best game against the strongest player I faced, or my
It
general?
actually was my second question, because you know, I was going to ask whether you consider your best game, let's say, some win against a strong, I don't know, maybe male grandmaster, or maybe it's more like a creative game when you finished with a nice combination or something like that. Does it make like real difference against whom you were playing?
Yes, actually, like my best game objectively was when I was 14 years old and I found over the board the Lasker-Pillsbury motif of Rook A3, and back this time I haven't even seen that game. So I mean, like, I found the motif over the board even though I've never seen that motif beforehand in my life, this Rook C3, Rook A3 motif. And I happened to win a very nice game in the World Championship under 18 in 1998. And I consider this game to be my absolutely best game because it was just beautiful from the tactical point of view.
Is it on Megabase?
I can find it for you. It's just I have to somehow also finish the game, and then I will find it maybe even, and I can show a frequency.
You have a lot of options to checkmate the poor guy, I guess.
Yeah, I will try to be quick. Somehow, but maybe this was not the quickest now, but I will do my best to be quick. Because I have ChessBase somewhere open so that I might even be able to find it. I know who I played.
I think probably, I mean, anyway, any position is absolutely winning, but probably Queen D3, and if Bishop E7, then Bishop B5, and then Queen D7 was like more, was quicker, I guess.
Yeah. I just don't remember if it was 99 or 98, but I'm checking now in the same time in the Mega database, just to be quicker. And I was black actually, because the problem is, like, if I type in my family name, I have a brother and a father as well, and an uncle and an aunt. So it would be just too much.
You have the whole family, yeah.
I have the whole family in the database, that's the problem.
Actually, I used to be, my family name is Gorodetsky, and I used to be the best Gorodetsky in the world in chess for a long time. But now they have a whole family in Israel, and all the kids in this family are just big. They are good players. And actually, it was kind of funny because I've been to Riga during the Grand Prix. And they had a time memorial rapid and blitz events there, and I actually came to play blitz event there. And I found out that both these brothers, Gorodetsky's brothers, were playing. And so I even came to say hello to them. They, of course, looked at me as I was a complete crazy guy. They thought, why am I asking them? Do they speak Russian? And why I want to get acquainted with them? Yeah, but I explained myself, and they was, okay, you have the same family name.
Yes, I found the game, but unfortunately my searching field is still searching, but anyway I have to finish this game. Okay, I tried to trick the guy into a quicker mate, even though I objectively didn't play the best moves. But nope, I had no chance to do that. But I'm close now to do that. I can trick him maybe into Queen takes B7 and Queen E8 mate if I'm lucky.
Yeah, I think it's...
If he takes on B7. I will try if he's... No, he was clever. He didn't allow me, but okay, maybe one move later or 2 moves later I will manage. I will meanwhile check on the database in ChessBase.
Okay, he just resigns.
Okay. Okay, I just need 1 minute and I can show you my best combination in my life. Yep.
Okay, great.
So I go on... I mean, can I go out of the tournament now? I will not be playing anymore, right?
Yeah, okay, sure, of course.
Yeah.
You can just not push next game, and you are still eligible for a draw already with 4 wins. Actually, you were in, I guess, in you had 13 points already, because this arena gave a lot of points.
Okay. So, and now I set the wrong position. Jesus. 1 second. It didn't copy like I wanted it to copy. Now it should be fine. And it will come on the board in just a second. And I have to add you in my analyze board, otherwise you don't see the position, or you see it with a delay. Anyway, the interesting moment arises in this position. And back this time, I mean, my father had been coaching me all my life, and he's a good coach, and he knew what was important. And he told me in a quite early state, in a quite early age, about the positional, tactical, and intuitive rook sacrifice or exchange sacrifice. Your name is Lushina, right?
Ilushan.
Ilushan. Yes. And here we go. I send you the invite, and I have to adjust the board in. I can see it. I have to adjust the board in my OBS.
Oh yeah, Ilushan.
Yep. And 1 second, because sometimes it moves. Voila, and voila. And here, that was probably the most beautiful game I played in my life, and I was really happy with this game, actually. I sometimes show it to kids because it's nice. And this was actually the position. And my opponent, I mean, she never knew anything. I mean, she must have never heard about the kind of exchange sacrifices, positional or tactical exchange sacrifice, because I mean, her last move was here to play g4. So, I mean, she wasn't even aware that rook takes c3 is a serious threat. My last move before that was b5, because obviously now to take on c3 is not working well because of bishop d2. And then after knight d5, I mean, I'm changing too much material, and this will not be sufficient in order to create an attack. So I just continued in a very natural way. I played b5, and now the idea is to take on c3, and after bishop d2 I have b4, and this is just crushing. She ignored it, she played g4, and now obviously I take on c3, and she took on e5. I mean, just to show everybody, if white takes on c3, then knight d5, and if you play bishop d2 in order to defend the pawn on c3, I will just distract the bishop on d2 by playing bishop g5, and you will have a problem because I will just capture the c3 pawn in the next moment, or you just lose the game because c3 is falling. That's why after rook takes c3, she took on e5, I took back on e5, and now she played g5 with a counterattack, because now if I play something like knight d5, as my knight on f6 was attacked, she will push f6, and suddenly there are motives like bishop takes h7 and queen h5 in the air, and it's rather me who has to be careful not to be mate. But here over the board, I mean, it was for me impressive. I found the very nice move rook a3, which is crushing actually. Because the idea is very simple. I also want to distract the pawn on b2 in order to play for the square on c3, which means if she takes on c3, the c3 square gets available again, and now knight d5 is just winning on the spot because of knight c3 check, queen takes a3, or bishop takes a3, everything combined is crushing. That's why after rook a3, actually, she cannot take the rook on a3. She has to take, for example, if she takes on f6, it will not save her because I can just take on a2 with a mating threat. And if you play c3, I simply go queen a4. I take the square on c2. You have to play king c1, let's say, and I simply take back on f6, and I have a crushing position. I don't have material down. I have even, I think, a pawn up, and this is just losing. That's why she played queen takes e5 after rook a3, but it doesn't matter what she does because the position is over. I take on a2, have a mating threat, she has to play c3, and now I played queen a4, again threatening mate. She had to play king c1 to hope for getting out, and now rook takes b2 is just winning because you have to get into the opposition with a queen, because you have to take, otherwise you are mate on a1. So you have to take and bishop a3, and the problem is if you go to b1, then there will be mate by queen b3 and queen b2, and if you go to a1 or a2, what you have to do, I give the check on d6 and I win the game. That's why she resigned after bishop h3 check.
So now I understand that you agree that the Sicilian defense is the best opening.
Yes, I was raised with the Najdorf actually, so for me I was always a big fan of Sicilian, and I was lucky in a way that my father, he was a very strong tactician. I mean, when he was in the 30s, he actually beat young Topalov, he beat young Gelfand, so he was not that bad actually. He was quite strong in the former Eastern German time. And he taught me all these kind of tactical motives as a kid, and he told me this rook takes c3, but he hasn't shown me Pillsbury against Lasker, when the first time in world history or world chess history the motive of
he actually wanted you to find it yourself, and you managed to do it. So it's like, okay, let's finish. We have to draw for last two winners of packages. And then we will have a special draw for your own prize. Actually, the difference is that those who are winning the packages for Moscow, their tickets are out of competition. They can win other prizes with other tickets. They can still participate in Checkmate Coronavirus project, in FIDE Checkmate Coronavirus, but they are not eligible for the Moscow trip anymore. But the person who will win a special prize from Elisabeth, anyway, his ticket can win a trip to Moscow or anything, absolutely. So let's go. The fifth winner.
I will now push the generate bottom, and it is 942.
Okay, at least it's someone from the early days of the project.
Yep. So 942 is 942. Oh, I have to scroll again.
Thijs.com. He played a rapid tournament on the second day of the no, sorry.
So now I will show it on the screen because I got it. Yes,
I think by the day that he's probably from Netherlands, and yes, he's really from Netherlands, and actually he's also a FIDE master. So we have all parts of spectrum in our winners. Yeah, we have people with rating about 900, and we have a FIDE master, a professional or semi-professional. I think his FIDE rating is about 2,300. I was said that he's 31 years old. So, well, he's probably a semi-professional. Well, it's tough to be a professional with 2,300 rating, but you can still play some official tournaments, I guess. Okay, let's draw for the last win of the day. It's the sixth package.
Okay, 1 second. I go back to the other window and I will push the generate button. And
I will adjust the lighting in my room because I think
you get a bit shiny. This is true.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'm shining because I'm participating in that, but you know it's kind of weird. Okay, so once again, somebody who played at the very last moment, like 1 hour before the drawing, 3,641.
Yep, and I will check. $3,641. Got it. Komisani. If I don't know it, I would guess it's Georgian. It sounds a bit.
Yeah, but you are again almost right. You know, you have a favorite country, and
Georgia.
You have a favorite country, and you think that all countries in the world are this country. Actually, this guy, he is also from South Africa.
Oh, wow.
But so you send Greece to South Africa, and now you are sending Georgia to South Africa. Actually, yes. And this guy was playing a racket tournament on chess.com. Actually, the same type of tournament you play. I was honestly surprised that racket tournaments during this project, during the Checkmate coronavirus, are so popular. But I think weaker players, they don't want to. They want to play like a real game, you know, with all the plans, and they want to feel it. They don't want just to click buttons and to play bullet. Do you like bullet yourself, or you don't play?
No, I mean, I don't like bullet online because I'm very slow with a mouse. That's just a sad fact. I mean, in real life, I can imagine to play bullet, then it would be fun, like more fun, but with a mouse, nah, not for me.
Yeah. Well, yes, yeah, I actually, unfortunately, I rarely have time. I was usually playing 5 minutes games on chess.com, but now these days are gone. Now, if I want to have some rest, the maximum time control I play is 3 minutes without increment, but usually I'm just playing bullet. And the only tournament I played during the Checkmate coronavirus was a bullet tournament, and actually I finished third, so not that bad. Yes. Okay. So now this is the time for a special drawing from Elisabeth.
Yes. I mean,
this is an extra prize for one of our participants. So he will be still in the run for the
other prizes of the Checkmate.
Yeah, for the other prizes, but he will get a special prize from Elisabeth, and probably after that she will announce what is the prize.
Yes, I can tell it before, but I can tell it after. I will tell it after because anyway I know it, so it's okay. So I will first generate, and the number is, wow, 3,738.
Okay, so the guy who just finished the tournament like probably 1 hour before the start of the stream.
Yes, so, and the price is the following. I mean, you will find the name, I will tell about the price.
Okay, I'm doing it.
So I created a chess course on my page chessqueens.com, and this chess course is about a 4 hours course on how to improve your chess on all kind of positional topics. And well, this course will be given to the winner, which is announced by Ilya. And in order to get this course, you have to just write to FIDE, and then you will get access to my email address, and I will send you the promotion code and the instructions on how to download this course then for free.
Actually, Elisabeth, the guy who won this prize from you, he is not very optimistic about himself because his nickname is Dry Brain.
Well, now he has to use his dry brain a little bit in studying the course.
Yeah, he's from Norway. And his blitz rating on chess.com is 1,425. So
that's
really
perfect for the course. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I think it's really good, and I think you will enjoy this nice gift. Not even from FIDE, but from my amazing co-host Elisabeth Paehtz. And I want to thank you very much. You were very, brave yesterday when we had all these technical difficulties, and I really appreciate how you were not angry with us being not prepared well enough, and thanks for having me today, and for helping us with this first weekly raffle for the Checkmate coronavirus for this FIDE project, which will run till June 16th, so we are only 1/4 of the way, even probably 1/5. I don't know, 7 days from 30 are gone, so something in between 1/4 and 1/5 of the way. We will have many tournaments. Many federations will also join with the tournaments for their local players, and next week we will have another stream with the weekly raffle. We hope it will be on Sunday, but if something goes wrong again, maybe it will be on Monday once again. But we will, of course, let people know about this, and hopefully we will have another great player joining us and play chess and stay safe.
I thank you. I thank FIDE for this really great project. I think it's an absolutely amazing idea to have this tournament, this project of checkmating the coronavirus right now in this live or on the air, let's say. And I wish you all the best of success. And, well, who knows, maybe the odds are in many other favors to win a great package to Moscow. We will see.
Yes, okay, so thank you once again, Elisabeth, and thanks for joining. And you can follow, first of all, Elisabeth's YouTube channel. The address is in the bottom on FIDE page, and of course on Elisabeth's page also. Also, you can follow her Twitch channel, and you can also follow Facebook page of Checkmate Coronavirus. We actually have an amazing team working for this project, and they are doing a lot of cool stuff. I am a big fan, for example, of the video they prepared with the pieces from 22 movies, Hollywood movies, where people are playing chess during the movie. Actually, I knew only about, I will say, 5 of these movies from 22. So you can check your knowledge of chess and of actually cinema also by watching it, and we have some cool stuff almost every day. So please follow us, and of course play Checkmate Coronavirus events on chess.com, on Chess, on Chess24, and on FIDE Online Arena. And see you next week, I guess.
Yes, everybody, bye-bye. I will be back in 15 minutes on air again with Anna Mutsishuk in a hand and brain match. For those who want to play against us, they are like welcome to join. But anyway, I will close the stream now because I'm also co-hosting the FIDE channel, so I will just switch the layout and switch the channels.
Well, guys, if you want to play against Elisabeth Paehtz and Anna Muzichuk, well, get prepared to be crushed, guys, because they really know how to play this game. And we saw it today, even in these 4 games against obviously weaker opponents that Elisabeth played. Okay, goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everybody.